Right, guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. Game week 29's done. Let us know down in the chat how you got on this week. Blank game week, but lots and lots of points to be had. Lots and lots of points to be had. As always, I'm Adam, joined by Baker. How are you doing, mate?
Do you just do the equivalent of how did you get on
How
this
did you
week?
get on? Did the full thing. Did the full
You
thing.
literally did it.
Yeah.
Oh God. Smugness in video form.
I have to do it, mate. It's not often I get the opportunity to do this. Like it happens like 2-3 times a season, and then I have to sit there watching socials, watching people just get massive gains after massive gains, and I'm sitting there trying to get into the top million most of the time.
The worst thing on earth.
I'm here
71 all out. How did you get on?
76 -4. We take it. We take it. How was your week?
Funny. Well, it all worked out okay. Obviously we potted Friday night, didn't we, with Harry? So we should talk about how that played out. Because I'd said that before I was going to bed, which I did do before I was going to bed, I was doing Milenkovic. And then my plans in the morning was, do I do Haaland or not? And more I looked at it, more I was like, I don't know that I need the -8. I'm quite happy. Bruno cap, just do Rodgers to Bruno. Got the money there. I might have to wildcard in 30 if Haaland looks essential, which, hey, nothing we've seen from Leicester makes me think he's less essential for 30. But let's just do that. Team looks okay. Go with it. And that was me. I thought that was relatively calm. And I kind of had to do it early because I had Eddie's birthday party. So it was like, get it done, not waiting on the last hour, go. But you... So the first message from you in the morning was, "Ooh, I'm priced out of a few things."
Yeah, that was the weird thing. So yeah, I was looking at like Evan Nilsson and I can't even remember who I was looking at now. Evan Nilsson and
Palmer
Bruno
and wasn't it?
Yeah, to take out Palmer. So Palmer would have come out and Bruno would have gone in. Haaland, and then like I actually kind of wanted Cresswell, weirdly, but I couldn't afford it. I was like 0.2 short, even putting Cresswell in at 3.9. Like dodged a massive bullet there because obviously, hardly anyone kept it clean this week. Well, nobody kept it clean on Saturday.
But as soon as he doesn't play, you're like, well, I don't even know if I'm ever going to have him again.
Exactly. And so, I put a couple of scenarios in, put a few things in. Was like, oh, I'm 0.2 short. I reworked it, and I was like, right, well, I like this, and this. 0.1 short. And then I did what I always do, right, mate? I just literally looked at it and went, fuck it, I'll take out Salah. And
I'll take out Salah and buy the biggest 3 I can in every position.
And just buy the biggest 3 in each position and just see how it goes. Because I feel like that was going to have like the most upside. I really wanted Bruno captain. That was really the thing, was to get Bruno in there as captain. And obviously I wasn't expecting Palmer to not play. That wasn't actually in the script at all. But yeah, it just kind of worked. It just kind of worked in the end. And I just had one of those, like, fuck it moments. And, what am I doing? I'm 900k. Like, who cares? Like, who cares at this point?
Yours is the big boy, mate. It's like I said, there's so little people that had both Haaland and Bruno and capped Bruno. Like I had to cap Bruno. Well, I had Bruno, I would, and it was Bruno. But you had the choice. You know what I mean? And still did it. There's not many. I was looking at our Patreon league. Helen and Joe and you were the 3 that did it. Ivan, our pal, he wildcarded. Obviously had Haaland in and still capped Bruno. Nice.
Did it. Lovely.
Big boys. Big boy moves. Love it. Love it. So we better just smugness get, scores out, that game done, timestamp it. It's a bit like last week and people just skip the first 20 minutes again.
Yeah, but we got all the usual stuff to do. So just here we go. So Cantonia says 87 points with no chip. Bruno cap. Mark Williams on 64 on wild card with 32 on the bench. It's wild. Red
Hold
Monkey
on.
71.
Oh yeah, I was saying, I didn't have 32 points on a bench this week, but obviously wildcard, you would have a full bench.
Yeah, 71 -8 green arrows from 947 to 761.
Hold on, let's just go back on that. 32 on a bench, because surely on your bench you'd have hidden a load of Palace and Newcastle and Liverpool players.
Oh yeah, I mean I'd have thought so.
Mark, what were you doing?
Unless that's full bench wankery, in which case I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Andy Mack 42, no Bruno. Sucks to be you. Unlucky man. Oh mate, I'm terrible. Andy, I love you, man. That's a good start. Jack Burling, another one, 36 -4, no Bruno, Haaland cap. Yeah.
Fair play, right? You got 40 points, 30 points on those, and you're out here watching this. You're watching a Monday night review of the game week when there's 2 weeks to the next week.
Where there's two guys who cap Bruno and one that is, I do tend to go over the top on this sort of shit, but
Yeah. It was Mark's confirmed it was free hit, not wild card. That makes more sense.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Free
yeah,
hit,
that
free
makes
hit.
more
So
sense.
you would fill your bench. You would fill your bench. Yeah. Some big boys.
Ooh, a little bit of a
This is
kick
your
there. The old first sip of the old never
game
say
of the
die.
Never say die. Yeah.
Thought it was worth it, mate. Thought it was worth it. Didn't we actually say we should have our little fireball?
Should we do it?
Should we
when
do
we
it?
do Bruno? I don't know.
Just open up the United game. Bang.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Well, we have to put the game week scores on screen now. We do. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So feel free to skip forward if you don't want to see it. But I went first last week. So over to you, mate.
So you did beat me. You beat me by 1.
I did. Well, yeah, because
Robinson's thing, dropped a bonus in the end.
Because we were samesies 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
with two very different teams.
Very different teams. Yes, they're massive. Milenkovic and Bruno, like bringing them two in, have just unbelievably saved my week. That's really it, innit? That's it. like other than that, obviously Anthony against us, Gabriel return, but I mean the Everton double clean would have been sweet, but that didn't happen, and the double Bournemouth attack did not produce. Flirted with it, but did not produce. And then obviously Palmer. Yeah, that was the thing for me. I honestly, Saturday morning, I was like, I just can't bring myself to sell Palmer and Isak. And so I looked at them. I was like, I like all three of them. I really want all three of them in 30. Now we don't know on Palmer. Now we don't know, but I'll work that out. Work that out when it comes to it.
Cool.
So, yes, that's me. That's where I am. So 75 -4, 71 points. 65k. So I sort of clawed back. I'd had a pretty crappy week, a few weeks. I think in game week 22, I was 63k. So this is as close as I am back to that one. It's weird. The ranks are quite tight until you get over 50 inside the top 50k. 50k to 25k is a big, huge amount, and 25k to 10k is a big, huge amount. The gaps in those, for anyone who wants to look at, what you can get to, if you go to live FPL, go to your normal game week, scroll right down, you'll see points to next bit. It's only 8 points for me to get into the top 50k. But then
I hate that section, by the way. I genuinely
after that it's a lot, but it's tight. There's about 10 between like 100 and 200, 200 and 300, 300 and 400, blah, 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 blah. There's like 10 points between each section.
Yeah.
So you can still...
I just feel like I'm miles away from everything. Well, no, I suppose I'm not, actually. You're right.
Not. Get into 100k from 600k is well doable.
Well, it's 85 points.
It's doable.
Doable.
Because of the number of people ahead of you that have spun their chips.
Blasted through chips.
Yeah.
We do. We yeah. There is that still to come. There is that still to come, which is good.
Yeah.
I was going to have a look at something there, but now I can't remember what it was. So I guess I'll go on to mine. So obviously I got the double clean from the double Arsenal defence. Thank you very much, gents. So 6 and 5 for Raya and Gabriel. Vardiol didn't obviously work out too great, but is what it is. 8 Nori again, like late Southampton goal. That was pain. And yeah, I also have a Bournemouth attacker, although he did exactly what I thought he would do and get benched. So 1 point from Dango.
Hey, you take 1 point from Dango because it's the same as Semenyo, and it's only 1 point less than Cliver and Evan Nilsson. If I offered you 1 point between Cliver and Dango, you'd just rip my arm off.
Absolutely. Oh no, yeah, true. That's very true. I was thinking on Saturday that I probably got that bench order wrong because I probably should have had Mikolenko ahead of him just because of the just because of it, and that clean would have been wiped anyway. Castagna was never ever getting there, so
yeah,
no one's ever getting there.
I did think about that for you. I was like, we should have had that conversation.
What? It was like a Tottenham hedge.
No, it's just as like a Saturday morning. Once you'd made the transfers, we should have had a conversation. We didn't have any conversations about bench orders or all of that stuff.
No.
I was bad pod partner to not say to it, and then I saw it. I was
Mate,
like,
you're
why
busy.
would it be?
You're busy.
Yeah, but Mikolenko, I think Dango should have been third sub.
Yeah, that's fair. That's also,
two home defenders versus a guy that's going to come off the bench.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Anyway, I got Bowen's assist, I got Bumo's assist, and I got Bruno's haul. I got Wissa's goal, which was nice, and I got Haaland and João Pedro booked after 10 minutes for arguing. Like, come on, man, that was frustrating. But
yeah,
and then probably should have been sent off for whatever he tried to do.
Pedro, yeah.
Whatever he tried to do, simulation or whatever it was.
It's so peculiar to do a feigning of an assault, as it were, because like, how is it not going to get looked at?
Yeah, I mean, because you literally do it so that other person gets sent off, so it has to go to VAR, like it's just automatic, right?
It's so weird, but obviously you can't do it the other way around. You couldn't get a booking for simulation.
No. It's
almost for me. It's almost like,
to be fair.
Yeah, we talk all the time about Pedro is a horrible person. I firmly believe he knows that. I firmly believe he knows that
he's on the right side of the coin.
He couldn't get sent off for simulating that he was punched in the face.
Yeah, more than likely. More than likely. So that's where I am. So I was a green arrow from like 900k up to 624. It was pretty good, I have to say. Can't complain at all. Can't complain at all.
I mean, JP the other way around was incredibly unlucky that people didn't finish his chances.
Yeah.
Creatively, I thought it was excellent.
Brighton were really, really good. Really good, I thought. So league updates. So shout out to everyone in our public league. Obviously, this league is closed, so you can't join it. But shout out to Tristan Day, who's topped it, 2,136. Steve Bunn played his free hit up to 2,132 in second. Alex Herculen has dropped down to third, 2,125. Jason Schwab is fourth, 2,120. And Bjark Fredslund is fifth, 2,119. Shout out to everyone else in the top 10, including Craig Buckingham, who tops our Patreon league. He's top 2,093 points. Dan Barnes, who won last month's Manager of the Month, he's 2,085. Philip Hansen Storas, 2,056 in third. Yogesh down to fourth, with 17 points this week. Do I read that right?
Jesus.
He hasn't been in the Discord this weekend. We need to probably give him.
He hasn't been in Discord.
We probably need to give him a shout, to be fair, and see what happened there. And then Jasper, 2,040 up into fifth. So well done to everyone there and everyone else in the top 10. As always, if you do enjoy the content that we're putting out, please do make sure you drop a like on the video. And if you want to see more from us, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to join us on Patreon, the little QR code is sort of just down there. We've got a nice big fat one here that you can scan if you want to come and join us over on Patreon. You can pay to be a member on Patreon, or you can just be a free member on Patreon. It's absolutely up to you. Baker's doing some fantastic content during the weeks. I'm not sure how many we'll get. Maybe a couple, maybe one or two in this international break / FA Cup break. Just going through some thoughts for game week 30, wild cards and chips and all that sort of thing going on. And I've now lost my train of thought. No. Patrons. Patrons. So shout out. Don't think I shouted out everybody who joined in February. So shout out to David Ellis, Janice Janopoulos, Joshua Taylor, Alex Walsh, and Sam Crook joined us all in February. So shout out to all of you guys and welcome in. And yeah. Beat Baker, of course. Beat Baker. March was 2 weeks, 2 game weeks.
Yes, weird. We're doing it 2 weeks early because March is technically finished.
Because yeah,
it's weird, isn't it?
1st of April.
17th of March, we're done.
1st of April is the start of the next game week. Released on Patreon earlier, but shout out to our winner for March, Dan Barnes, who won February's Manager of the Month. He doesn't win March's Manager of the Month, but he wins a bottle of Never Say Die bourbon. So as always, shout out to Never Say Die bourbon for supporting us for this competition. Make sure you get involved. April, Beat Baker starts in 2 weeks.
But like, if anything else, you know, the whole point with Patreon, a lot of it is we want to do some free content on there. It has no ads if you do any of that, you know, so any of the stuff we do on there, there's a few things that we can do on there, which, you know, copyrights and so forth. If I want to look at some highlights or some footage of stuff, which we can't do via this. And also it's normally, if it's me recording, it's not very good quality production. So therefore it's just me sharing my screen and you'll see a little picture of me in the corner chatting away. It's, you know, so that's not for the main channel, that's for there. And you can be free member, no fee at all. Only thing you'll do is give us your email address effectively by signing up, and then you'll get an email at any time that we launch anything on there.
Excellent. So I think that's it. So do we jump straight in?
Bruno, baby.
There he is.
I have done the stupid thing of pouring way too big a fireball.
Well,
way too big.
Thankfully, I've still got some of these little ones from the golf day. So we just got these little 50 mil shooters. So fireball to a fiery Bruno. Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's warm. It's warm.
It's warm.
It's warm. Oh, it's warm. It's warm. Man United 3, Leicester 0.
Yeah.
So Leicester out XG'd Man United.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, definitely didn't expect that. There's not that many. There's not that many chances in here, to be fair. But you know, Vardy and Daka had 3 shots each, and they're just so bad at the back that
they just do stupid things.
It is stupid. Well, the Højlund goal is like a perfect example of the most ridiculous defending you'll ever see, where he literally, I think Wout Faes has literally gone, you haven't scored in almost a year. I don't believe you're actually going to hit the target.
Yeah.
And then he just chucked it into the bottom corner.
I'm literally going to shepherd you all the way into the net.
Yeah.
Like chaperoned. It was more chaperoned than shepherding.
It was terrible. It was
it's
terrible.
Weird. They're weird. Like this isn't the first time. I said on the Friday night thing that when they played Brentford and lost 4-0, they actually had more chances, had more possession, had more territory. Like that's one of the reasons why they were such a good team to pick attackers against. Is that they come out to play for some strange reason. They try to play against you, despite the fact that they've got virtually no goals in their team.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. It feels so stupid. I don't know whether it's they've just said to Rude, you can't get sacked. No, it doesn't matter if you lose every game to the end of the season. Keep playing the right way to play, because then when we play in the Championship, we'll still be playing the right way to play, as opposed to try and shut up shop and come out. Like maybe that's what they're saying, but it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense what they're doing. Because every time a team attacks them and scores, look at the size of each of the XG chances here now, and obviously it's not big, but look at it compared to the Leicester ones. You know, is so Leicester actually, to be honest, Leicester have created some good ones, but they just sort of allow you to just keep pot shotting at them.
Yeah.
It did feel like Bruno eventually was going to just pot shot one in. Ericsson was trying it at every attempt.
I mean, that'd have been nice if
Possibly
that
could.
that'd have been nice if that one from the corner had gone in.
From the
That would have
corner.
been...
It was a good it was a good strike. Yeah, they just allow it. Really unfortunate. Heaven
Yeah.
he was. I thought he just looked like he's been there. He looks like the £60 million signing that Euro we expected to be. He's really confident. £1.5 million for a guy running out of contract from Arsenal. It looks really good business, and you hope that he'll be all right. But yeah, I guess this just says to you, for me, is just Bruno's the only pick. Dallo, maybe.
Yeah, but again, I still don't trust their defense, right? If you're going to concede 1.2 xG to Leicester, are you still giving up chances?
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah, I just don't like their defense at all, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
Dorgu was in that Europa game in first. Dorgu was mad attacking, so I'd like to see him back in the team. There might be a flourish for it, but
yeah. I mean, there's a big thing. Like over the last 8 games, they have one of the worst like records for XGC. They're down there with Tottenham, basically. And the only teams that are worse than them are Ipswich and Southampton.
Obviously, people are buying Bruno now.
Well,
you know, he's the most bought player.
Of course he is,
every hour
because points equal transfers. That's the only reason it is happening. Nobody. I don't think anybody that's engaged is actually buying Bruno. Not buying him, right?
Are they buying him because they're on wildcard and they're trying to farm? Do you think though? Maybe some
possible. That's possible. That is possible because he could go up 0.2. That is definitely a possibility. I mean, they got Forest and City the next 2, then Newcastle away. They're just not fixtures that scream like buy United players. And like 3-0 and 3-0 when they only put up 0.8 xG, it just doesn't feel like they can continue that.
It doesn't make any sense.
Defenses.
It doesn't make any sense that you'd buy them.
No, I mean, look,
away to Forest, home to Man City.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play Bruno away to Forest, almost certainly, because he was like, I've banked 34 points from him. He can have this week, type thing.
I feel exactly the same on it, but the problem is I've got a bench either probably Bumo or Evan Nilsson or Palmer are my only options for playing Bruno. I've got to bench one of those, and
Bumo's probably okay away at Newcastle, right? Is it away at Newcastle? I think it's away.
But don't forget, we'll change the narrative when we get there. Brentford are only good away from home, remember?
This is true. This is true. Oh. We've gone full switch. Like the fixtures have changed and it's full switch.
Yeah. The thing with Bruno, obviously, he was quite deep first half, but he joined at the right times. The bad part for Bruno for 60 minutes was that Ericsson was on the pitch, so he was nicking all of the set pieces, and you were like, why do you keep doing that? You're not very good at them. But he was deep. He was deep-ish, which meant you thought the chances were going to come from assists. But when he's deep, he does that quarterback role, which is how he ends up with the assists. Yeah. So not all bad. Do we think the second one was an assist?
I don't care. Actually don't care.
All I hoped for was that he would say, yeah, I touched it. And he did. And then he did. And then they asked him again. Have you ever seen anybody scrutinised for an assist like this? You should have seen our pal Danny was literally losing his mind in chat. He was like, how can they be scrutinising this assist? Why are they showing more angles? They've never done that in their life.
It's very true. Like Sky have never done that. Sky have
never done that on anything ever.
And they did do it. Like, yeah, it's mad.
Because me and Danny both had capped him, so we were all going. We were like, yes.
Yeah.
Danny's so serious that he didn't post his team until gone 11 just to be sure.
I saw that.
I love it.
Like if Bruno can get awarded the assists that he got, because I still go back to that phantom assist. Yeah. You remember the one that he was given in FPL and they didn't give it on field because otherwise he'd have been offside.
Exactly.
Incredible stuff.
But look, just outside of that, even before when he scored the first goal, so when they're 1-0 up, right, he was top bonus. Even once it went past 60 minutes. So you can see that second goal is past 60 minutes
Yeah.
for absolute bonus fetishist that I am. Is I was looking, I was like, surely they've not added the defenders things on, but because they didn't do anything, the defense, the baseline for the defenders was pretty crappy actually up to that point. I think Delit picked up a bit at the end. I mean, Mazraoui looked knackered, like him and Ramadan were not friends yesterday. Like he was tired. Even Amorim said it at the end of the game that he was out on his feet. I think if obviously they hadn't had the defensive injuries, he wouldn't have made it to 90.
It doesn't help when you're chasing Vardy down like constantly down that side, right? That doesn't help.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. But um, he made 5 recoveries, Bruno. He made 4 tackles. Right. He created 3 big chances. He made 6 key passes. Like that's why he's a good captain, because as soon as he even got that first assist, you were like, well, he's got the assist and he's going to get at least 1 bonus here, if not 2, a free, even at that point.
Yeah.
And then, and so you getting like 6, we were like, well, we're going to get the clean and he's going to get his appearance points and get his stuff and get a couple. He's going to get 8 points here just for an assist.
Yeah.
Then the next one goes in, you're like, he's got it. And
That's
then,
it. That's full,
and then
full bonus are in.
the second that Casemiro came on, I don't know if you saw it, but the step change. There was an immediate run, literally within 2 minutes of Casemiro coming on, that you were like, hello, he's going to score. Immediately, again, me and David Chat was like, the goal's coming in. Because suddenly he hadn't made any runs into the box at all. And then the second Casemiro came on, he made a run into the box, and you were like, goal's coming. And then I was watching it on the old Sky Go, but I refreshed Twitter. Do you ever experience this? That who's the first person that you learn a goal from on Twitter?
It's normally Harry or Andy.
Andy.
It's normally Andy. Yeah.
How does Andy do it?
I mean, Andy's normally a couple of seconds ahead of the game.
I'm convinced that Andy lives in the future. I think everyone needs to know. Let's Talk Andy lives in the future. How does he type so quickly? So he did United 3-0 Bruno goal. That's what he did. It was like, I don't understand it. I don't understand how he does
do you
things.
reckon he's sitting there? He's sitting there with a computer. He's sitting there with 2 screens, isn't he? He's sitting there with two things open. He's going to have United 2-0. He's going to have one screen that's just going to be set that just says United 3-0, and he's ready to write just a player in. Or he's got United 2-1 or like Leicester goal. He's got it ready.
He's ahead of SofaScore. He's ahead of like any of those things that live score. He's ahead of them. Andy gets there first, because like live score give you the thing. It will say a goal, but you don't know who's going to let it, and then it will come through. Andy's like, bang, bang, that's the goal. I'm like, how do you know this?
Do you find it doesn't matter what game either?
No, he lives in the future.
3:20 on a 3:20 on a Saturday afternoon.
That's why he's got 500,000 bloody subscribers. Is that he lives in the future? We love you, Andy. Yeah, you can roll Bruno out any game at the moment if he's doing what he's doing at the moment. Just because there's sheer involvement, it's suddenly like that sort of KDB style where even if he gets an assist, it's going to be 8 points. But it's like when KDB was doing it, he also had loads of really good players around him. Bruno ain't got that much around him that return.
No, it's true.
So,
and obviously that's not changing. That's not changing. That's not changing.
Yeah,
particularly this season.
Now we've got him in. I think he's away to Bournemouth, away to Brentford. They could be all right. Home to West Ham, away to Chelsea, home to Villa. I feel like there's involvements for him. Like you say, he's quite expensive, but I can see it. Oh, we're frozen.
We haven't.
No. Apparently we have.
No, we haven't. We haven't. Nothing's changed. I don't know what's happened, but nothing's changed.
Okay, like you say, he is expensive. I couldn't buy him, but maybe you try and hold him.
Fair enough.
Let's talk about Leicester's opponents for 30, which is Man City.
We can do that. So obviously we get the good information that Haaland starts, Marmoush starts,
Yeah,
Guardiola starts, and I mean it took the penalty to get him going completely, just completely dead out the blocks. But like Marmoush is so much fun. I still think he's really fun.
that finish was
Like zero backlift.
all topspin. It was like a prime. It's like a prime Nadal forehand. Do you know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
just a full whipped it. Like
You remember
yeah,
when Kane used to hit him near post with no backlift,
Yeah.
and the keeper just didn't realise what happened. It was just that.
because it went off the post and went to the middle. When it first went in, I thought, was that just crap? Like what was that? Like was that just for Bruggen just stuffed it? And then you were like, oh no, it's off the post. It's gone. It's through him, but it's in the net before he even knows what's done with it.
Yeah.
He is good fun. Obviously, he wins a penalty as well. Which look, if he doesn't cut him down, he's got a shot from. So his stats don't look actually that great in this game. But you
No.
have to take into consideration that if he doesn't get taken out for the penalty, he's got a chance from 4 yards out. So add that in, it's a lot. It's a lot better. I do think so. He's playing Leicester next. We won't know whether he's playing or not, will we? Because it's the day after deadline.
Okay.
If you had both him and Haaland, would you be tempted to captain Marmoush?
Hold on one second, mate, because we're just having a bit of an issue. So if you are having an issue with the audio, just make sure that just refresh the stream, because honestly, from my side, I've had nothing from YouTube to say we're down. I have nothing from OBS to say we're down. As far as I'm concerned, we're streaming, and everything's all good. So
Yeah.
if you guys are having any issues, honestly, I mean, I would recommend refreshing, and then we're good to go.
Okay.
Your question was,
Yes.
would you cap him?
Would you cap Marmoush over Haaland if you had both?
I probably would still cap Haaland. Weirdly though, I'm tempted by, because did I include Marmoush on my screenshot to you earlier? I think I did, didn't I?
Don't know.
There is a world where, yeah, I mean, depends how mental I want to go, to be honest. But yeah, it depends. There is a world where I could get Marmoush in as a bit of fun. No, I think I would still trust Haaland, just because like he's going to be on the pitch for longer, and I know there's this whole like Bournemouth 120 minutes potential in the FA Cup and whatever, but
Yeah.
Marmoush is there, but Foden's just like playing exactly where he plays. So
Yeah.
you know, I don't feel. I feel like I'll probably be better off with the guy that takes the penalties, with the guy that really they're aiming for. I mean,
Yeah.
Haaland has
And
three.
it's-
Haaland does have 3 shots. He has 2 other shots. I mean, they just didn't create very much in this game. It's difficult to really pin down.
And it's basically, if you're going to take on Salah, you better not miss. So therefore, you want Haaland in it.
Well, because everybody who's got Haaland that doesn't have Salah is capping Haaland without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Everybody who's got Haaland but doesn't have Salah is capping Haaland. Everybody who's got both is probably, I think, 3/4 Haaland, 1/4 Salah. And everybody who hasn't got Haaland is capping Salah. That's the game we're playing in that next game. And where it becomes really interesting is if Palmer is out, then there'll be a lot more people buy Haaland.
Yeah, that's very true, because they will just be able to get the money to do so. When is that City game in the? It's on the Wednesday, right? Yeah, that's
on the Wednesday.
Yeah, so that's
Deadline
a bit
Tuesday,
icky, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those. I do think with Marmoush, don't buy him now. Let's see what happens on that Sunday, because we we've done pretty well on the opposition. So I'd suggested that he wouldn't start Forest, but I think it doesn't impact him. I don't think you can buy him, but I don't think it impacts this game, and I don't think it impacts the Leicester game. Now, free hit was kind of won because as soon as he was leaked, he was playing, or wildcard was won because as soon as he was, you had to get him in, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we didn't get, I personally thought that Foden and Marmoush would play this game. I thought they would bring them and play them both in the same team. The fact that he didn't play both of them, even at home, worries me. That worries me because it's like, is it one or the other? Is it always going to be one or the other? Does he not actually think either of them are wingers or able to play wing? And then Savinho comes off on 59 minutes, whatever it is. But Doku's the most nailed guy in the wing department, but we're not having him.
No, he doesn't. I mean, as terrifying as he probably is for right backs, there's just zero output. You see it when he's like looping those. I feel like every time he crosses, there's just an acceptance that it's going to go out of play. I think he had one right in like injury time where he's done some really good work cut inside, and then the ball, he's just basically crossed it off the pitch because he's just not very good. He's like your rich man's Adama Traore, basically, isn't he?
As for Brighton, you're probably not going to buy any of them this week. Like, no, for in 30, people are only really going to buy City or Palace players, aren't they? They're not going to buy anyone else. Very, very unlikely anyone buys anyone else. Unless they're like doing it buy one to get the other. But the main purpose is get the City player or get the Palace guys. But I do think on wildcard, we've really got to try and see what you can get out of them. You know, they've got obviously Palace away in 31, but then they've got home Leicester in 32, Brentford and West Ham potentially a double in 33. They would blank 34, so they fit the sort of free hit 34 territory. It's not so good after. Newcastle home, Wolves away, Liverpool home, Tottenham away. It's probably just João Pedro, isn't it? Is it just João Pedro?
What, on wildcard?
If you were getting anyone from Brighton, is it anyone other than João Pedro?
Just get the guy that takes the penalties. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, like, Estupiñán obviously scores here, and Brighton's defensive numbers have been better, but I don't know whether.
I don't trust Verbruggen to keep me clean sheets.
That's also an issue, I guess. I'm just having a quick look. So, yeah, Villa, and then Palace, Brentford away. Obviously Leicester's in the gap there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only see really one potential clean in the next 4 games.
Nah, I just don't. And they're not cheap because they've been good in recent years. Like Estupiñán around 5 million, whatever he is. Nah. Even Matoma, once you start getting over 6 million, I'm like, I don't fancy it for a guy not on set pieces. I just think it's Pedro or bust. I'm not sure.
Was it Mitoma's cross or was it Mitoma's cross or was it João Pedro's cross that Minte just basically slipped over?
Pedro, I think.
Pedro. Because I was just thinking, I'm just thinking, like, I mean, that cross in is available, right? So they are working that particular move. So that's ordinarily, I guess, where you'd find Mitoma.
I don't want to just a straight assist because he doesn't take set pieces. An assist is never going to get him bonus.
Yeah, it's true.
Because they don't clean either.
Yeah.
You need goal scorers. Now, obviously, look, Mitoma could have scored that goal, and he should have scored, really. Like, I know, obviously, that the early goal gets disallowed, and is it really a foul or not? I don't think it matters, because I think it is handball. So,
yeah,
once it's handball,
yeah, probably.
Who cares about is it a foul or not? Because it's that old game of take the objective one out, and then you can muck about with the subjective. But the objective one says handball, so who cares?
Yeah.
But he should have scored. Then, yes, he does get great back post chances. I just don't think it's enough for me. The fixtures would have to be so compelling for me to spend over £6 million on Basoma. It's not there.
Yeah.
If you got him, fine, but he won't be on a wild card. No chance.
Agreed. Agreed.
For you, obviously, so you've now got Vardy and Haaland in place. It's great, isn't it? Work. That's what you want for the next game. Work it out in 31, whether you need him or not.
That's precisely it. My biggest issues are whether I've got Palace players, because Palace have got this lot. Southampton, who did who put up an XG against Wolves, and Wolves did very little in the game. Like they've just got zero creative spark without Cunha. They had a few good. They had these 2 chances from Strand Larsen, and they had, I think, that other chances the João Gomez one. It must be
3 good chances in the entire game.
She's just not good enough against Southampton.
It's all you need, though.
It's like playing against Leicester and the same thing. They just
Leicester
do
and Southampton. Stuff. The ridiculous part is none of them have good enough keepers for this league. They don't.
Yeah.
Even like Ipswich, right? We'll say it, but so Palmer plays in goal for Ipswich, yeah? What's his first name?
Alex.
Well done, mate. I wouldn't have a fucking clue. and where was he? Where did they get him from?
Oh, I don't know that, mate. That's way too far.
No, could you? If I put 10 people in a lineup, would you pick him out?
I reckon I could. I reckon I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I could, because I've been watching last few games. He's done okay. I think
he's doing all right. But they're not Premier League keepers.
No, absolutely not. Weirdly, I think
not Premier League keepers.
Weirdly, I think Hermansen's actually not bad.
Yeah. I don't think he's bad, but it still goes in.
I don't know what his post shot
because he
XG
gets
numbers
enough
are like.
Practice.
I haven't looked at what his post shot XG numbers are like. I'll have a little look on like Opta Analyst or something and see.
They're just the whole thing. It's like it's just not good enough. The defense is such a problem for these guys.
Agreed.
There's a dearth of elite centre backs around. Like you can't magic them up. These guys can't afford them. No. So it's tough. It's really, really tough. And then the goal chances are good. Strand Larsen's goals are both, though, just class.
I enjoyed them both very much.
It's a proper striker. It's a proper good number 9. It'll only get better.
Yeah. Classic number 9 as well. He's like an old school almost number 9. Big tall guy. Enjoy it.
Yep. We can wait. We probably won't even get him. Let's see if they get any doubles.
I just don't think there's enough, right? I mean, there's not enough in the attack. And as soon as you get the player back that creates that enables the attack, that's the player that you want. You don't want Strand Larsen, you want Cunha, right? So for me, he's like enjoy it while if you've got him, if you had him for this week and you're carrying him out next week, cool. I don't mind that. But I'm not buying. No one's buying Strand Larsen, I don't think, and I think he's straight out on wild card for Cunha when he's back.
Or not at all.
Or not at all. And there's comments saying Strand Larsen should probably go to Burnley next season. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I don't think they'd mind that.
Yeah, it'd fit in well. I think Southampton are plucky at home. Certainly, when teams face them, they seem to somehow get a goal quite regularly. I'm going to try and use that as ammunition to say I might be able to sneak past Munoz, but I'm not convinced that's true. I'm not even convinced it's a little bit true. I'm not sure I'd hit Munoz in, though. I'll be honest, I do not think I would hit Munoz in. I'll put that on the table right now. I don't think I would. I fancy them to score a goal at home.
So the problem with Palace is that over the last again, I was looking at these over the last 8 games. Over the last 8 games, they are as good as Arsenal. Or the last 8 game weeks, they're as good as Arsenal.
Yeah.
In terms of XGC, that's per 90 as well. So like, forget that they've played a game less. In terms of XG, they're better than Liverpool per 90. Right, so so they're as good a defense as Arsenal, and they're a better attack than Liverpool over the last 8 game weeks per 90.
But that's the problem with data.
I'm building this narrative that they're just going to absolutely steamroll them, and I don't see.
But if you watched the Fulham game,
yeah,
were Palace. So, what did Palace do against Fulham? What they did was sucker punch the shit out of them. Like, Palace had about 12% possession in their fucking game. Like, they literally were allergic to the ball for the game. And that's what's worked incredibly well for them. Palace are doing incredible stuff through sucker punch, sucker punch, sucker punch. Like they're giving the ball away and then saying, go on, attack. Oh, well, now we'll break you and kill you. Like, that's what Palace are doing. Now the question is...
I don't think Southampton's not going to sit... Southampton can't sit back. They literally cannot sit back.
We don't know what they can do now.
No, but they literally have to attack.
Yeah.
They have to beat Palace. They have to win pretty much every game they play for the rest of the season.
I am not trying to make it a worse fixture for Palace, but what I'm saying is comparing Palace doing a sucker punch to playing Southampton is just a really different game. Do you know, again, I called you this on Friday, but you can't have both ways, right? We can't say that Bruno and Man United are a terrible away team, but then it's Leicester, so therefore it's going to just naturally be a different game, and then use the data of previous and say that's how Palace are going to be. What you can say is, it doesn't matter, it's Southampton. So just go with that. Like, it doesn't matter, it's Southampton.
Pretty much. I'm pretty much saying the same thing.
But we do that weird crap of like using previous data to say, like, I'll come back to the old Brentford they're only good at home, they're rubbish away. Well, it's just because that's just saying like my data's telling me that shit. Whereas if you actually watch it, you're like, well, there's a style and there's an opposition that suits that style. You know, Fulham was an opposition that suited that style. They were able to break that team and smash them on the break for it. I don't know that. I genuinely say to myself, do I know it? If I could use a free transfer on Palace versus Southampton, I 1,000,000% do it. But if I use a player that's got a good fixture and then I hit him out with the view that I wildcard the week after, I'm not doing that.
It does depend on... Yeah, of course. Okay, fine. I will accept it. For me, it depends on the player that's coming out. I still...
Who's bad?
Mykolenko?
Were you starting Mykolenko in?
No.
Don't lie to me.
Still bad. He's
still
bad.
Nonsense.
Right, hold on then. Let me put it on my screen. Hold on. I'm not on the thing. I've just gone into clear score for some reason.
Give me a player. Give me a player with a good game that you should hit out.
Yeah, I don't have a defender, but I could. This is where it gets dangerous already. So if Palmer's not fit, right?
Yes.
And Bumo's away at Newcastle.
Yes.
Then I would rather hit Munoz in than play Bumo away at Newcastle. Or I could make an argument to do that.
So a hit on Munoz instead of playing Bumo.
Yeah, because yeah.
I don't agree.
Because I just think it's a clean. So hits made up, and then you've got like the most attacking defender in the league. Literally the most attacking defender in the league.
Yeah.
Like
I think Bumo's too good a player.
That's fair. That's also fair. And he will be on pens.
And I can't think of a player in Bumo. I can't think of a player in this. Maybe Haaland. because it's home to Leicester, so it's slightly different. But there's certainly no defender that I would be like. I would rather take them +4 versus Bumo
Yeah, okay.
for 1 week. This whole conversation changes if you're not wild card in 31.
Yeah, but just, at the same time, it depends who. I mean, you can build it however you want. It doesn't have to be a hit for Munoz. It could be a hit for Eze if you want. You call it a hit for Mateta.
But hit for 1 week.
But it's a language thing, right? Use the. You need to just
1 week.
pick the player. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's Southampton. That's now the argument. Now, so my data's out the window. It's now just it's Southampton.
I feel weirdly, despite the fact that Palace have been much better away than home, if Palace were at home, I would feel much more inclined to agree.
We will see. We've got 2 weeks to work it out.
Yeah.
So where should we move to next?
Is there much games to talk about? We got.
Well, we still got like a load of games to talk about. To be honest,
yeah, but there's some bad ones. Let's get the Sunday ones out of the way really quickly. Move on.
Okay, this was a pile of crap.
I
don't know what to take from this game at all. It's a proper like Chelsea bad attack, and weirdly, like apparently Arteta came out and said like Chelsea's attack is the best in the league.
Best in the league is what he said. Of course, he has to say that because he is deliberately trying to stink it out. Like, this is all they did last season. As soon as it come near the end, they tried to stink their way to the title. Like, that's what they tried to do, and try to get 1-0 to the Arsenal and continually do it. And hey, this could easily have been 2-0 to the Arsenal. But they haven't really got strikers. Like, it should be hugely commended how well they have done this season with the striker injuries that they've had. It's insane. When you listen, we'll talk about our boy next, but you listen to how much he moans about centre backs out when every squad in the world should have 5 or 6 centre backs, or at least has them, or ones they can play. But strikers are a tough commodity. Very few teams have more than one good one, and occasionally people have 2. Well, Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz are pretty good. And you lose them both, and you still keep winning against Champions League opposition or people in and around that world. I think it's pretty commendable, but they do it because they are just strong as hell, defensively so strong that they can just snuff teams out, and that's what Arsenal did. It makes Arsenal defence wonderful for the rest of the season. It makes Saka, when he comes back, real interesting.
Yep.
So the latest is that he should be back for the Champions League. So that's, 3 weeks away? So maybe he doesn't play in 30, but maybe plays 31 or 32. I mean, if he's back in 32, home Brentford and then Ipswich away, he's interesting.
Definitely interesting. Especially if Palmer's so dead that...
But that defence, they've got in the last 6 games of the season. Well, let's just take this last, what they've got left. Fulham home, Everton away, Brentford home, Ipswich away, Palace home, Bournemouth home, Liverpool away, Newcastle home, Southampton away. I would not be surprised if they didn't get 6 clean sheets out of 9.
It's mad, isn't it?
I would not be surprised if it's anything less than 6 out of 9. Wouldn't be surprised if it's 7.
If there is an inkling of a setback to Saka, I think I just go triple Arsenal defence.
I genuinely don't hate it. And Timber is getting in some silly positions.
He's getting all right on the bonus as well, isn't he?
He's getting in some really good positions. Gabriel would have got top bones if he didn't get booked. There was some sort of discrepancy. People were saying that he should have been top anyway. Like, he suddenly, late in the game, for some reason he just dropped from 27 to 25 for no reason.
No idea why.
I can't say I was, not sure why, but he was a booking away from top bones in this. Gab good, Timber good, Saliba good, Raya good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well done.
How many you can afford probably depends on whether you have Salah and Haaland when you wildcard.
Chelsea now though.
Nah. Cucurella is as it stands. Cucurella's the fun asset because he's inverting. He almost scored again.
I mean, yeah, like that. I mean, yeah, we talk about how confident I am about Arsenal defense. If David Raya, that was close.
You can't have that. You can't have that. You can't have the keeper's stuff. Like Bob Sanchez is nowhere near that header. Like it's just a. Oh, it was
Oh,
just
he's too
like
busy
slow
pushing
motion,
Gabriel in the
flappy,
back. He's too busy
flappy, and
trying to
what's
push
he doing?
Gabriel in the back to get near it.
He's an idiot. He's not there. Cucurella's okay,
Yeah. Okay.
but for a little bit more, you can have Timber. I'll have Timber. Um, we're completely avoidable.
Let's move on to us, sort of.
So this is like this is horrible. But Fulham have just done what they needed to do to beat us.
Yeah, it's a pretty even game. I think that we were lucky not to concede a penalty in the first half. I mean, the most obvious push Jed Spence ever seen. And then I think we're unlucky not to get a penalty ourselves in the second half, which obviously would have balanced things out. Don't know whether it was one of those, but yeah, other than that, it was just a bit quiet. I didn't really catch much of the game, to be honest. But everything I did catch just looked like it was spent in the middle half of the pitch. Like everything was just kind of there.
Anthony Robinson's
just a bit rubbish.
Anthony Robinson's about 40% owned going this week. It's quite heavy still. But the mass sale is coming because it's away Arsenal, it's home Liverpool, away Bournemouth, home Chelsea. It gets a bit better. That Chelsea Southampton double is okay actually. But Fulham and Tottenham could also be two teams. We own none of them from here on in. Because Fulham are great, but they're kind of hard to predict.
We're bad and hard to predict.
We're bad and hard to predict. That's worse.
Yeah, it's worse.
Yeah. I mean, just look, maybe it changes if Ange loses his job, but if he doesn't, you just keep targeting Tottenham. We're horrific. We're not just bad.
We're not even because we're not even at the point where we were actually creating a lot of chances. Like even at least that was fun for people to watch, and we kind of knew we were going to score.
Honestly,
like,
imagine if we had season tickets right now, mate. Imagine how angry you'd be.
Yeah, I'd be fuming. I'd be absolutely fuming.
Like we just don't care. We just don't care.
I think and that's also rubbing off on like me and you. Well, me more than you, I think, more than anything. I think because you. I mean, outside of obviously this, I mean, in chats and stuff like that, you're angry.
I just want.
You just want it to end.
I have never, ever, ever, ever disliked a manager at Tottenham. Well, I dislike Ange Postecoglou. I just didn't see that coming. I never at any point saw this coming. But I genuinely hate the man.
I'm so agnostic.
Absolutely,
it's crazy.
Absolutely hate the man. It's because like everything about him seemed a nice man. Like everything seems a nice man. But the fact is, like it's not his. What is almost not his fault is that he should have been put out of his misery by now. He's not good enough. But that's not really his fault. If you think about Marco Silva, right? Think about Marco Silva. Do you remember Marco Silva was Everton?
Yeah.
And he was swashbuckling. It was out of his league. He would have good runs of form and then it would fall apart and then lost his job. We had Watford, same game. Like this league is tough, right? It's not, and Marco Silva was a good manager. Ange Postecoglou is a good manager, but he had to take some blows and he had to be taken out the firing line by being removed from his job, and then he had to go again. But it's almost weird. It's like because Ange is 57, it's like you can't sack him now because this will be the last one he ever got. He's not going to be like, this won't be the last job he ever does. But sometimes it's okay to say, just take him, get it gone. He gets a good payout, get him gone. before people hate him. Like, because Marco Silva, when you see Marco Silva in interviews now, he knows who he is. He's battle hardened. He's been through the scars. He's come out of it. He's had the chance to go again. If this goes on 10 more games, nobody will ever hire Ange Postecoglou ever again.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
If Ange loses 25 games in a season,
Yeah, no top club's ever going to want him.
no top club. It's actually bad for Ange, let alone anyone else.
Yeah.
But the fact that he doesn't see it, the fact that he keeps, trying to make out like it's not his fault, it just needs, we changed. I changed the thing to our Spurs. Just get him gone because it's not good for anybody here. It's. I mean, I've talked about welfare of the players, but welfare of the manager. Like his career's shot if we keep him in this role. There's no coming back. Even if we win the Europa, wouldn't you still sack him in summer anyway?
Yeah, I would.
Happily. So then what's the point? It's gone past it. You can't lose 18 games in a season and win fans back, even with a trophy.
No,
it's too brittle.
I agree. Let's move on. Maybe that's it. Maybe
a
more in-depth one is a international break pod, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah.
If we want some time to rant about it. Right, we better move on and talk about how Bournemouth attackers have failed this week.
They just can't score. They just can't do Brentford, could they? I hadn't realised how bad that record was against Brentford, but it's just one of those where...
Was that 5 in a row or something like that? Was it worse than that?
Yeah. Brentford got their number.
Just got their number completely.
It's small moments, isn't it? Evan Nilsson should score that one in the first half. Doesn't. Semenyo should score the one in the second half. Doesn't.
Yeah. Brooks. Doesn't.
But if any one of those happen, if they score, I'm pretty sure if Evan Nilsson or Semenyo put that goal in, they probably score 4. But they don't. And if you don't score against Brentford, eventually they will.
Well, they'll just, and that's the beauty of the way that Thomas Frank sets up, right? In that, like, you compete, like they compete against all teams, right? Against all teams. And then all they need to do is put themselves in a very specific situation and they've got a plan for it. Like, and it's very specific, right? You find, like, I'm in this area of the pitch, right? We move into, I don't know, code Robin Hood 2 or something like this sort of shit. And it ends up people like moving around in different places and nobody knows what the fuck's going on. Next thing you know, the ball's in the back of the net and it's worked again.
Did you just compare Thomas Frank to Liam Neeson in Taken? Is that what you just did?
Did I?
I have a very specific set of skills.
Yeah, it is a very particular set of skills.
I will find you.
This is it. Thomas Frank is Liam Neeson. But yeah, I mean, like the throw in is one to create chaos and confusion and stuff, and like and this is what Norgard was saying. Norgard was saying it in the interview afterwards as well. Like, they're working on these sort of situations to create.
They work on the edges.
Yeah.
They work on the edges all the time, edge of the game. They are comfortably the worst team in this match.
Yes.
By a long way, the worst team in this match. But you can win games by being streetwise, and that is what Brentford play. That's why they're great. And it's weirdly predictable. Like, it's almost, if a set play goes in, I just think it's going to be Norgard or Wissa. And I think it's probably going to be Bumo or Sharda that assists them, because it's either a throw or Bumo corner. And you're like, well, that's pretty reliable. That's what happened. One was Bumo to Wissa. And then one was Sharda. I mean, I'm not really quite sure how that was an assist, but the Sharda Norgard one, that's what it is. That's why they're good assets. They're really good assets. What are you going to do about them? Because you've got 2 of them.
I'm going to sell Wissa this week.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because Mateta's back. and they've got Southampton. So I think there's a world in which you just go with that because of the fixture.
Can you sell Wissa straight to Mateta?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. No, it kind of half depends on Palmer.
Does it have to be the Palmer?
Well, it depends on Palmer in the sense that him being out for Spurs would mean that I can make that move easily. Otherwise, I've got to find different ways to do it.
Do you remember how you got to double Brentford?
Yes. I
How was
remember
it?
exactly how I got there.
How was it?
It was Mateta and Eze to Wissa and
Was
Bruno.
it?
Yeah.
So what could you do in 30?
So I could just reverse it.
You could literally just reverse it.
Hit the reverse button for a -4. And then I get Southampton.
I don't mind it. I know I said about Boomo and all that stuff, but if it gets you another guy, well, that makes it slightly different. Makes it slightly different. The question is, do you want to play the narrative that Newcastle have been on the piss for 2 weeks?
No, I'd rather play the narrative that they've been on the piss for a week and then had a week to recover, so they're fine. Or 2 or 3 days and then they're back in training, so they're fine.
Haven't you got?
I mean, they are pretty beached, aren't they? To be fair, Newcastle.
Didn't you sell Isak?
Yeah.
You don't want him to be that beat. So you don't want Newcastle to be on it.
Well,
so we want Newcastle to be on it, but we don't want Isak to score, but we don't want them to score.
Don't want Isak to score. No, yeah, like 0-0, something like that would be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Because Lewis was injured, so it's fine. Nobody owns anyone else.
It's all good.
It's all good. Bournemouth attackers though, like you just keep them.
Well, you keep them, but you don't buy Semenyo now.
What, 9 bookings?
9 bookings.
It was a proper like big guy challenge, wasn't it? It was just a proper like just get the fuck out of the way.
He can't help himself.
No, it was look of like innocence on his face, like what?
Can't help himself.
It's if that's, I mean, like that is a way to play the game sometimes, is you just bully yourself around, you just try and push the rules a little bit. But if you've been booked 9 times, you've probably been caught, right? You don't. It's stop doing it.
I seem to remember, and I am making this up, so let's just note that this is a made-up fact, but maybe it's not.
It's always a good start.
But I've got a memory that once he went to 4 bookings, his minutes were more managed. I seem to remember that after he had 4 bookings, there was a few games where he came off on about 60, 65 and all around that game.
Interesting.
So, because you would, wouldn't you? They've got plenty of attacking substitutions that they can bring on, so the likes of Dango and so forth. It would not surprise me if, while he's on 9 bookings, his minutes are more managed than what they are currently. Are you trying to look if I'm lying?
I'm trying. Yeah, absolutely. Of course I am. Except the app is like the worst thing ever.
There was a Monday night game where he definitely came off at about 60 odd minutes. I'm going to say game week 9.
Game week 9, 60 odd minutes. You're going to make me check and break the stream.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't break the stream. Let's just pretend it happened. I thought Evan Nilsson was really good, but didn't score any goals. Like he ran channels well, did lots of work. It kind of reminded me a little bit. I watched him against Tottenham and he was fantastic. And obviously everyone's good when they played it then. But what he does for Bournemouth a lot, he does a lot of work. He did so much pressing down the channels as well defensively. Like he really helped him out. It made me realise that obviously he is definitely the reason why he's come straight back in is a lot different. A lot different. You've checked, haven't you?
Totally made up fact. I love it.
He definitely had some minutes.
He was
managed.
He was booked in game week 9, which was his 4th booking. Then he proceeded to play game week 10, 11, and then got booked in game week 12. So he got a ban.
Damn you.
Then he had 84, 90, and he was brought off in game week 16 on the 67th minute.
This is ruined. This absolute lies.
The only game he was brought off early other than that was Liverpool 3-0, 69th minute. That's it.
Is that really? See, this is why I told you it was a
He's playing every
made
minute.
up fact.
He's playing every minute, mate. It doesn't
But
matter.
we work on narrative, so we're going to say 9 bookings. He's definitely only playing limited minutes now, or he's just getting booked.
He's just going to
So
get
hold
booked.
on.
He's just going to get booked,
So
take 2 weeks off.
yeah. Yeah, I think regardless, you can't buy guys on 9 bookings.
I agree. Because you're just asking for a transfer, especially not like 9 is 2 games. Like sometimes you can carry a guy through 1. It's difficult to carry a guy through 2 when there's only 9 game weeks left.
I mean, if you're not on wildcard, if he gets booked against Ipswich, the Semenyo to Sarr moves are going to be off the charts. Off the charts.
So, yeah.
Semenyo to Sarr will be off the charts.
Yeah.
Straight money, right there. Doubling 32. Thanks very much. Off I go.
Yep.
But yeah, can't buy Semenyo. Bournemouth aren't winning.
They're not. That's 5 in a row, isn't it? There's no win in 5.
They're not winning.
So if they're not winning, like it was only really this game and the next game I was happy. Like we were talking about it on Friday with Harry in terms of the defense. Obviously, Kirkes gets an assist here anyway, which is fine. But I was only really happy for a couple of for a couple of games, and then I was out anyway. So I wouldn't be looking to pick any more up.
Yeah,
defensively,
especially. The game, obviously, look, let's see what FA Cup brings with Bournemouth.
Yeah, true. Because it could be like pinning their hopes there.
Yeah, they've got.
I mean, they've got a chance to get at City, obviously. Like
they beat Man City, then it's a very different situation.
Yep.
Very different situation. But we can work that out later.
Anthony Elanga. I mean, target Leif Davis, right? I know. Weirdly though, he actually played. I mean, they covered this in Match of the Day, but it was weird how kind of they'd fixated on that right hand side of that Ipswich right hand side to sort of focus and just stick Elanga in the middle. It felt like they were actually just trying to avoid making Chris Wood run, like in terms of their setup. Yeah. Why would you bring your right winger inside to cover to help Hudson-Odoi get wider and then make sure Wood stays in the middle? Well, probably to feed Chris Wood. But ultimately, what it's done is it's freed up Elanga more than anything, and he's just taken full advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we did not predict that was the world that was going to happen, that the come off the wing situation. But we did like Elanga. I mean, I loved Elanga last week. I was very much. I mean, talk about it, but Elanga over Semenyo when a lot of people were looking at Semenyo as that cheap mid. I really liked it again because you had this game, and then you've got the. I know everyone looked at the Ipswich for Bournemouth guys, but home to Man United, his old team, we just saw Leicester just create loads of chances.
Yeah.
Elanga's a great option right now. Take set pieces. If he comes centrally, he's just good. The finishes were excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the more busy boys around Wood, though, the more you're like, what do you do about Chris Wood?
I think
the exodus is coming in it.
It is.
I mean, it is
because
literally...
the fixtures are just not there, right? The fixtures are just not there. They never have been. Like post this game, after this game, they were just not there.
After this, or you don't think Man United at home is a good game?
Well, I think yeah, okay, fine. United game, it's. I don't think it's a good game though. I think it's okay.
I think it's a pretty good game
for Chris Wood.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you looked at the chances, that Leicester created, it wasn't through hanging around. It was through pace down the wings, and I suppose if Chris Wood's there, just I suppose I go back to like the Delict chance, the Delict like clearance off the line or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think
I don't
Chris
know.
Wood's absolutely fine for Man United. He's definitely not a buy for United.
I was saying, I'm not selling him ahead of United, but I'm not even suggesting a sell ahead of United. I'm just saying that the game that you wanted to get him in for was this one.
Yeah, whether you should free transfer him to either Mateta or Mamouche is interesting.
Well, if you're wildcarding 31, then yeah, I would do it. Just because I just think there's a huge upside there.
Mm.
Because you've got
Keeping that
the upside's there
transfer
because
is
you could
useful,
score
though,
like
isn't it?
he's never gonna score. I know he's done it in this season, but he's not gonna get double digits against Man United. You can quote that, clip that, whatever. He's not scoring double digits against Man United. Marmoush could quite easily pick up 15 points against Leicester, and Mateta could quite easily get 13 points plus.
Yeah.
Against Southampton.
Yeah, you'd never free hit in a million years in 30 and put Wood in your team.
No, not even close.
But should you use a transfer?
I mean, if you're fine elsewhere, the issue is like lots of people are going to have Palmer, right? So there's a consideration there. Would you be hitting out Wood? Probably not, because I think you basically lose most of the upside. I still think there's probably a little bit you can sneak out if you wanted to try.
I know I need to get Wood. If I did Wood to Haaland.
Wood's what, 7.4 probably?
Yeah, I need to release 7 million, which means I need a £3.8 million midfielder. Got any of those?
Can't think of one. Can't think of one.
Might be a bit cheap.
Harry Winks. Was he not that?
Do we go? Are you suggesting that what I should do is do a -8 for wildcard?
What did I send you earlier? I sent you a -8. Like cards on the table. I sent you Wissa, Palmer, Mikalenko for Marmouche, Eze, Munoz. Didn't even bother with Mateta. It was just like Marmouche, Eze, Munoz.
I tell you what I have exact money for?
Go for it.
Palmer, Bruno, and Wood to Sarr, Eze, and Haaland. -8.
It's fun, isn't it? I told you,
fun.
The words I also sent you. I've dead ended with a -8 before. Brought in Kane and Son, who returned 32 points against Leicester. Son Hattie off the bench, if I recall. So there is previous. You did send me the Anchorman gift there.
Yeah. I sent you the Anchorman with the.
Oh, hold on! You actually amended it, didn't you?
Yeah, 10% of the time it works every time.
I did. I've only just caught that.
Not even the 60% of the time. Well, it's 10% of the time works every time.
Incredible.
Yeah, my only way to get Haaland in 30 would be to take either wildcard or take a -8.
Yeah, I don't think
I think I'd just wildcard early if it was that desperate for it.
And he's gone already. Interesting.
Brian asks in the chat, when am I wildcarding? I will make a decision after the Sunday. So we might need to do a Sunday night stream after the FA Cup if I feel like that might be the way it goes. Well, we'll do a team selection. We'll do a team selection that Sunday night anyway, won't we?
Yeah. That'll be team selection Sunday.
It could well be a wildcard one, but I will not be farming. I will do it then if I do it at all. Milenkovic. I've got to talk about Milenkovic.
Well, I mean, Roberto, he joins us normally on chat, but he's not in tonight. But Roberto, FPL Yellow Army, he was fuming that Milenkovic did not get bonus or more bonus. He was fuming. I was like, you conceded 2 goals, mate. What do you want?
You conceded 2 goals, mate.
That's it. That's the rules. That's the way it works.
Yeah. Fact is, what appealed was a set piece. Did I expect it to be a bounce around set piece and then volley one in? No, but it's got, so that's 4th goal of the season. So Gabriel last season was top goal scoring defender with 4 goals last season.
I think Munoz has got 5, hasn't he? Already.
No, he's got 5 in all competitions.
Okay. Boo.
Yeah, that's one of those where they go 5 and 5 because it did well in the Carabao FA Cup.
Fair enough.
One of those, we massage it when we need to. But 4 goals in the Premier League this season for Milenkovic. It's just good, isn't he? He's just dangerous. He is dangerous. He's still under 5 million. If the FA Cup results go away, that means that Forest have a double. I suspect I could see myself keeping him and just stashing.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
I could see myself keeping and stashing him. The only thing, you ask yourself, if you ended up bench boosting in 33, then he's away to Tottenham that week.
Seems fine.
How good are we? How good are we at set pieces or not?
Terrible, like terrible. We've like in the last 8 games. I think we've conceded the most headed chances of any team.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy. So that would be a big plus for him. I mean, it's just like obviously Murillo was never really an option. Sorry to Sparky, who picked him in his free hit team. I think
Pratt's got him, I think.
Hmm?
Pratt's bought Murillo, I think.
Murillo,
Yeah.
was that on price?
Yeah, yes.
Like, did he have nothing else to buy, or was this like
Poor Pratt.
was he too cheap?
Poor Pratt.
Well, that price is like 6-7K. I'm not going to knock his decision making really, but I think if you'd have asked me to pick from Neco Williams, Aina, Milenkovic, or Murillo, I would have picked Murillo last on like every occasion.
Yeah.
Or gone somewhere else. Personally,
To be fair, but it was weird. I think he had something like 4.7, and it was like Kirkes, Aitnori, and Milenkovic were all like 0.1 too much. Which
should have just sold Salah.
Just sold Salah.
That's how you get to where you want to get to, man. You just sell the big.
Sold Salah. He could have had Bruno and Milenkovic.
He definitely could have done.
You should have got bloody Milenkovic. We should have talked about this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That probably would have been better. Well, I mean, points wise, obviously, but I think it probably would have been better.
Well, also would have meant you had the money to do Wissa to Mateta
with nothing. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't a lot of time.
Yeah, but then I would have had Milenkovic. I'd have had Milenkovic against Bruno rather than Gvardiol against Leicester.
We didn't get a lot of time here, but
oh no.
But you said I'm 0.1 out. You said fuck it, I've now done. You said I'm 0.1 out my moves. Fuck it, I've got Vardy. I've sold Salah.
that's
the time difference between 0.1 out to I've sold Salah was literally 3 minutes.
I don't want to fact check and ruin that, but yeah.
It wasn't much longer than that.
Oh, it was 7. Yeah.
7 minutes.
Well, you said add that -4 in on Trent out and all good. And I just like went for fuck it. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. We should move on from this game. We've got one more game to pick. We close this out, hour and a half done. And then it's not deliberate, but I feel like we end up with just Everton last, like all the time.
Well, stuff them because they lost a double clean sheet.
Bowen got me an assist.
Bowen was good. It wasn't. I didn't think it was just like so. The other whatever the Monday night game was where you were hoping for the points from Bowen, and he didn't get him. I thought Bowen was pretty bad that night, but he was good in this game.
Oh, the Newcastle game, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. Really lively, really on it. Tried to score an overhead kick. I mean,
I did notice that. It was, I mean, very, very little contact on that.
I think very little, but managed to contact it twice, I think. But yeah, he's probably a little bit expensive to keep.
Definitely on wildcard, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously in 31, you're going to have like the likes of the Gordons, the Murphys, the Sars, the Eze in terms of midfielders that double. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to keep him. But
yeah, I just don't see a need. Obviously, they got Wolves this week, which is kind of like the fixture. It's like the perfect way to say goodbye, right?
Yes,
it's the perfect way to say goodbye. And then they have Bournemouth, which is fine, and then it's like Liverpool, no thank you, and then I suppose Southampton in 33. I mean, it depends when you free hit, I guess. If you free hit 33, 34, well, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, the 33, that's the thing, isn't it? You might be tempted to still have him. Southampton, but Brighton, it's such a good double.
Yeah, potentially. Souček keeps popping up, doesn't he? He just keeps
Does
popping
keep
up,
popping
keeps
up.
popping up and scoring goals.
It's that time of the season.
And like, there's one of these chances earlier on in the game, which was O'Brien from distance. He's fucking massive, this guy, isn't he? I didn't even
Massive.
realise. Like,
Yeah, he's an absolute
he's
monster.
like it's like he's literally built in Minecraft. He's literally built in. He's like that square. Everything's square.
Yeah.
Just full
There was
Lego man.
there was a pre-season game we played, and me and Ivan watched it, and we like fell in love with this massive guy and thought this is a baller. This could be brilliant. Um, and I think Ivan was actually quite close to starting with him game week one. He didn't even get the team, but he was just like, yeah, because his goal record is even last season. His goal record is real good. This isn't
I'm
like
sure
and
Everton
it's
fans were championing him to start the season as well. I mean, I know that's different with
he's a
Dyche and
returner,
stuff.
but their fixtures Everton now are absolutely dog shit. So that does not matter one iota when the fixtures they've got are horrific. Like they're as bad can be from here on in.
Yeah.
Next 4 or 5 game weeks, Liverpool, Arsenal, Forest, City, Chelsea. That's the next 5 game weeks.
Good luck. So they're going to be last every. Well, no. To be fair, playing those kind of teams, they'll get moved up in the old above average game week
Yeah.
review.
Yeah, no.
Okay, well, there's not much else to say here, is there?
There isn't much else to say here. Bowen is the boy if you want one. Cresswell doesn't play. That's bad.
Yeah, that's weird and bad.
Areola is a stash potentially if you wanted a second keeper with the
Yep.
likely Southampton Brighton double in 30. If you're gonna bench boost in 33, then Areola's a good little stash.
Steve says, would you keep Pickford for the next 2 games or would you get rid? Like,
It's a genuine question for me. I think in my team is when we get round. If I was to just keep it going, would I, for example, do say Pickford to Henderson? My weakest link in my team for 30 at the moment is Pickford. To just do Pickford to Henderson
yeah.
a week early. The problem is, like you say, how many shots will Southampton have? At least Pickford will get some shots away at Liverpool.
Yeah, but he might also be taking -2 points.
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
I hope he's not, though, because I haven't got Salah. God.
yeah. Yeah, in a way, you'd love a Pickford haul in 30.
Yeah, I would love it. I would take it. I would take it gladly.
Yeah.
Penalty save. Just give him it.
Imagine that.
Imagine it. Imagine not having Salah and he does what he did against Leicester a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But if you can, you hide these guys now.
Yeah. Agreed.
Beto, hide him. Like hide or sell. Do what you can.
Yeah.
Mikalenko, you've done really well for us, Mikalenko, whenever you've been needed, but you're done.
Perfect way to end it.
Congrats to Newcastle.
Yeah, well done to Newcastle. I mean, people getting in our chat, like people getting pissed off that Newcastle have obviously won a trophy, and we've taken so long to get a trophy ourselves.
Carabao's hard to win.
We do say it. You've said it. We say it. It's harder because it's just all league teams. It's all, and ultimately, when you get to the quarters, it's always all Premier League teams. There's very seldom is it,
and good Premier League teams.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to 2 Carabao finals that we've lost. Didn't go to the one we won against Chelsea and Man City. And it was a really good Chelsea team, and it was a really good Man City team. It's not easy for him. It's a big deal for Newcastle. Get a trophy in the bag.
So they will enjoy the next 2 weeks. definitely. I think you know, I did enjoy. I mean, like, I did enjoy Bruno Guimaraes' interview pitch side.
Oh,
Like, you just felt like it was like everything to him.
yeah.
I wanted to come here and make history with the club. I wanted my name to be associated with history at the club, all this sort of stuff.
It, uh, it was, but it was a lot of I.
There was a lot of I.
There
Yeah,
was a
but
lot of
we
I
know.
wanted to be a legend at this club. Just in case you didn't think I was a legend, I wanted to be a legend. I wanted to write my name in history. You're like, I love it because it is there, but it was a bit, all right, mate. There was almost borderline
But
indulgence.
then he did go to say like he did go to say like the fans they deserve it. This is for them and all this sort of stuff as well. So
He's he's. I mean, fact is,
he's
with
captained them.
with
He's
Rod
captained them to the first
with
trophy.
Rodri injured, he's probably the best centre midfielder in the league.
Yeah, yeah,
Like him and
yeah,
Rice are probably the best two centre midfielders in the league.
yeah. In that position, yeah.
Um, it's he's an incredible player. Incredible player. Joe Linton back obviously just makes it just a big difference. This is just a big difference for him. Um, Murphy, do you think Murphy might be somebody that we buy in 31?
Don't know yet.
Murphy, I wonder if Murphy over Gordon is the thing because Trippier obviously is now playing, which makes me. I was like, oh, well, Gordon to get all the set pieces, but he won't if Trippier's playing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dan Burns on 9 bookings, by the way.
Is he really? I
Mm,
didn't know that.
I think a lot of people are looking at Dan Burn on wildcard.
Oh yeah, because if you get that and then you lose him for Leicester, like gets booked next game, losing for Leicester and then a double. Well, no, you're losing for one game with a double. It's not a double anymore.
Yeah, exactly. No. That's
The problem
I've
is
done
all
a
the other
lot.
defenders you don't want. Like Trips is basically a ticking time bomb.
Yeah,
Um,
I make a lot of these things up, so I should check these things. Um, so Joe Linton's on 9.
Joe Linton's permanently getting booked though. Like he's like
Yeah,
just permanently yellow.
Damon's on 8. Damon's on 8.
Oh, okay, so you might get away with it then. You
Yeah, so
probably
if he
will get away with it.
gets through the Brentford game, he definitely gets the double.
Yeah. Interesting.
So we might be tempted. If he stays on 8, maybe. If he gets one more in that Brentford game,
Yeah.
oh sorry. Caicedo's on 9. That is quite interesting for them. And we talked about obviously Bournemouth and being problems, but Ryan Christie as well as Semenyo is also on 9. Like if they lose Semenyo and Christie in one game, you're like,
It's a lot. That's a lot of
good
like
game.
steel in that midfield. Like a lot of energy in
A
that
lot of
midfield.
energy, a lot of minutes.
I mean, I guess they just stick. I guess they just stick like Alex Scott and Dango back on the pitch, would they not? And
Yeah,
just
but
say, okay, we'll
it's
do
good
that.
players,
It's not.
but
I was gonna
it's
say I don't feel like that. I don't feel like they'll miss out too much out of those two. Like obviously Dango's definitely a downgrade in that position. I think he's been great, like number 9. But I mean, to be fair, fuck it, I'd probably just play Dango left back and play Kirkes fucking left mid instead.
you might as well.
just
mate.
do that. And just do that.
You
But
might as well.
we've got 2 weeks to think about it. We've got
Yes.
76 likes on the stream with 220 people in chat. So
Outrageous.
need to do better on that. We say every week need to do better. But thank you to those guys that have liked it already. Thank you to those that have subscribed. We really do appreciate all of you. We're still figuring out what we're going to do. We will do a little bit of stuff in the international break, I think. And the team selection video for game week 30 will probably be the Sunday before
Yes.
the
100%.
before the game week. I'd imagine there's no midweeks ones. I'd imagine we'd probably just do one next Sunday and then the one the following Sunday.
We'll work it out.
But we'll see what we're going to do. We'll take a few days off at least.
If people got requests, drop them in the chat. And drop them in, not in the live chat now, drop them in the comments.
Yeah,
Drop them in
definitely.
the comments because we'll see them.
Definitely.
But yes.
Baker, always a pleasure. Cheers to Bruno.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, you're done. You're you're empty. I'm still nursing mine through. But it's all good. I've got some.
How are you finding it?
It's nice.
As a non-whiskey
well,
drinker?
it's nice as whiskey goes for me. Like I would not choose to drink that personally, but it's fine.
Do you want to put a little bit of Coke in it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I do, to be honest.
It's fine. I've got no issue with it.
Yeah,
Because it's not Scotch, so you won't get frowned upon. Not like if you. What would happen if you went to your local and
ask for a
asked for a bit of Coke?
Bells and Coke.
Yeah. Oh, no, worse, because this is a nice. So
you want to go like Glenfiddich and Coke or something like that?
Yeah, or just like a Lagavulin. Let's go nuts. Do you know what I mean? It is. Yeah, I'll have a Lagavulin and Coke, please.
I have no idea. I've never even thought.
Their mind. Yeah. Put it in your most Cockney accent as well.
Oh, bruv.
Bruv. I have Lagavulin and Coke, please. No ice.
Oh man, you'll have to do it when you finally come up and play golf, mate.
Yeah, we'll do. We will work it out.
Cool, man. Right, as I said, always a pleasure. Thanks very much to everyone. If you're listening back on podcasts, make sure you do the reviews, the 5 stars, all that good stuff on the YouTube, the like, the comments, the subscribing, all that stuff. Patreon.com/AboveAverageFPL. Shout out to Crypto Block Dan as always. Shout out to Alex Volo for his graphics, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers, mate.
See you later.
We do it now.